Hello, welcome to Metric News. The time is 80, July 84. Our top stories tonight. Miners' strike reaches John Prescott proportions. Peter Hanrahan has the story so far. Joining the miners, British Leyland's Longbridge workforce demand longer tea breaks. 2 hours not enough, they say. In the Falklands War, the Argentine vessel, the General Belgrano, is sunk, while HMS Coventry watches on at a perilous angle. We hear the latest from last conflict. But first, I'm joined in the studio with Trent Steele, and we're going to discuss the recent miner strikes.
Morning, Ross.
Now, Trent, what do these strikes mean for our nation?
Well, Ross, we really cannot tell at these early stages, but we're getting reports of imminent debacles regarding the supply of coal to both Didcot and Eggborough power stations, both of those major generators.
What are the unions saying?
Well, predictably, they have no interest at all in the running of a business. They don't really understand the word profit or loss. Proletariat is the word.
Well, it appears the consensus is unanimous, down with the miners.
Yes, that is the general view in places like Surrey and Herefordshire, but surprisingly not so in the north.
Well, Peter Hanrahan is in the north now, and he's with the coal crusader himself, Arthur Scargill. Yes, Ross, I am here with Arthur Scargill himself. Now, what do you have to say?
Well, I would like to say, first and foremost, that we northerners, we have to work bloody well hard up here. Bloody well hard indeed. It's not like down in the south. You don't have to work at all down there. Very different up here. Malnutrition is a constant threat among our people.
Well, John Prescott is from up north, but he doesn't appear to be malnourished.
Well, he's one of them bloody politicians down south, isn't he? All he cares about is his bloody stomach.
Well, what's your message for the people of Westminster making the decisions?
I'd like to say that over the years they have systematically destroyed our industry. It was fine till they came in and started meddling with it. So, now, how do you feel about that?
I don't know, Arthur. But I put it to you. What do you think about the people in the north?
I think they deserve a bit more gratitude for the stuff that they have done for their country.
And what do you say to the people that say, well, the mines aren't working, we have to close them?
There's bloody more coal underground than there is on the surface. That's what I'd like to say.
Thank you, Arthur. Back to you, Ross. Bloody northerners. Peter and Arthur there. Now, British Leyland.
Yes, and almost in support of striking miners, British Leyland's Longbridge workforce is out on strike again, for the 4th time this week. I went to find out what it's all about this time.
What happens when the best engineers in the world set out to create a beautiful car? You get beauty with brains behind it.
Well, not anymore. Now they're not even being built. Strikes by paint shop workers demanding longer tea breaks in between designated painting hours have stopped production of all Austin Rover and Jaguar cars. But how did any of them get built anyway? British Leyland's workforce have been on strike for 18 of the last 29 consecutive metric weeks. Combined with this latest mining debacle, the outlook for the British economy and British manufacturing is bleak like the Scottish moors. I'm joined with British Leyland's Longbridge manager, Lord Quentin Rothermere Frinton Delahaines of Stratford-upon-Leybourne. Quentin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, the workers are demanding longer tea breaks. Is there enough tea to give them?
I have a feeling that there's not enough tea in the world for these bloody poverty-ridden citizens that I call my workers.
So that's a no then. It's back to you, Ross.
No, it isn't. You barely started. Asking about loss of production.
Well, yes, has this strike led to a loss of production?
Yes, it bloody well has. Good thing the British motor industry is so damn secure and will never ever collapse.
So it's flat out for the future of British Leyland then?
Of course, I'm not about to let some bloody unions get the better of this fine British company.
Is the sacking of those taking part in the strikes a possibility?
Let me put it this way, I would single-handedly wring the neck of each and every one of them and fire them all without remorse.
Well, go on then.
Well, it's not as easy as that.
Are the unions playing a part in this? Are they holding you to ransom?
The unions are always doing something to annoy me. If Margaret Thatcher had so much as a hand on the tiller, she would outlaw them all.
Well, there you have it. Trade unions are once again involved in British Leyland strikes.
Trent Steele there, don't worry, he's not a unionist. We wouldn't employ someone like that. In the Falklands War, we have received news of the sinking of the General Belgrano, the Argentinian vessel. This comes about after the loss of both HMS Sheffield and HMS Coventry, which we will never speak of again. 323 Argentinians died on board. Thankfully, no Hong Kong laundrymen were harmed. Our overseas editor, Peter Hanrahan, has put together this report. Here to discuss these latest events, I'm joined in the studio with Trent Steele and a right-wing journalist for the Daily Telegraph.
Actually, I'm a liberal journalist from The Guardian.
Well, I'm very sorry for our viewers at home. I have no idea how she managed to bypass our metric security, but while we're here, we may as well ask you a few questions. Now, obviously this spectacular loss of lives is a brilliant thing for our nation.
Oh yes, of course.
I'm sorry, 323 lives lost. Isn't that a tragedy?
Well, so you're saying a British ship should be sunk instead of the Belgrano?
Well, no, of course
Make
not.
up your mind then, liberal.
A huge loss of life is a terrible thing. We should not be celebrating at all. In fact, I came on this programme to talk about the bias in your reporting. Just last week, we were treated to an entire segment on how the Croatians are inferior to us because they don't play cricket.
Would you rather play their stupid sports? Listen, we're in a war here and British chaps are dying. Admittedly not in the quantities of the Argentinians, but that's another matter altogether. Are you seriously suggesting we should be supporting Amnesty International?
Yes.
Well, take her out. Well, there you have it. That's all we have time for tonight, but join us tomorrow night where we will be discussing the relative merits of cheese manufacturing. So from me, Ross Revenge,
And me, Trent Steele.
it's good night. First, I'm joined in the studio with Trent. Never mind, there you go. But first, I'm joined with Trent Steele, and we're going to discuss the recent miners' strikes.
Morning, Ross.
Now, Trent, what do these strikes mean for our nation?
Well, we really can't tell at the moment. It is very early stages. We are getting reports of imminent debacles regarding. Good morning. Oh.
Ross, I am here with Arthur Scargill himself. Now, Arthur, what message would you give to the politicians back at Westminster?
What the bloody hell are they doing?
I forgot my microphone.
Oh.
Proletariat is the word that comes to mind.
Well, it appears like a consensus is unanimous. I said like, why did I say like? The miners' strike reaches John Prescott proportions.
Well, not anymore, now they're not even being built. Well, now... well, yes, okay, Ross. Well, yes, has this strike led to a loss of production?
Why are you laughing?
Well, yes, Ross. Well, has this strike led to a loss of production? Yes, has this strike led to a loss of production?
Yes, it bloody well has. Good thing the British motor industry is so damn secure and will never ever collapse.
So, it's flat out for... Yes, I'm almost in support of the striking miners. British Leyland.
Now, obviously this spectacular loss of lives is a brilliant thing for our nation. Trent?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry, 323 lives lost. That's a tragedy. We should be mourning.
Here to discuss these latest events, I'm joined in the studio with Trent Steele and a right-wing journalist for the Daily Telegraph. So you're saying you would rather a British ship be sunk by the Belgrano?
Well, no, of course not, but, you know, that's your line. Sorry, you're meant to interrupt.